Look, obviously, I know you care about winning, not numbers, but the numbers you put up in this series were ridiculous. What do you think you've been able to prove in this series and even last year in the playoffs?
I mean, nothing yet. We've been in the playoffs twice since I'm there. We lost both times, so nothing yet. You get paid to win, so we didn't do it.
The Mavericks have once again been beaten in the first round by the LA Clippers, but also like last year, they gave the Clippers massive problems even when they weren't playing at their best at times. Last year it was mainly due to the injuries to both Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic, but this year it was mainly due to the lack of consistent shot making from the Mavericks, especially in pretty much all three of their home games. But with them being eliminated, we need to start asking questions about this team, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the series in general. We're going to be talking about the moves that they made coming into the season and the moves they might need to make going forward. Because the way I see it, some of these moves can be seen as a gamble. And speaking of gambling, that and fantasy are the main ideas behind the app sponsoring today's video. FanDuel. FanDuel is one of the biggest sports betting and daily fantasy apps in the world right now. With everything from traditional sports betting to snake drafts to daily lineup building contests, with cash prizes of up to $100,000 for first place, they have everything you could ever need. And if building lineups isn't your strong suit, they also have a built-in lineup optimizer to help you make your picks. If basketball isn't your thing, there are also a variety of sports to choose from on the app, from football to hockey to baseball. And if you maybe don't have the money to participate, there are also a handful of free contests that you can enter daily, so you'll never feel left out. If FanDuel is an app that interests you, you can sign up for an account using the link in the description and the pinned comment in the comment section below. Also, real quick, about 85% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you're watching this and you're not subbed, please hit that sub button. It only takes a second and it helps out a lot. Also be sure to leave a like. That also only takes a second and also helps out a lot. So as I said before, and as you probably already know, the Dallas Mavericks were eliminated in 7 games in their first round matchup with the Los Angeles Clippers. But they didn't go out without a fight, and at times it looked as though they were gonna run away with the series. But I will admit, I was fully expecting to come in here and make a Clipper slander video, but they proved me wrong. They pulled through, and they won an extremely tough series, so salute to them, salute to Kawhi Leonard, and salute to Paul George for going an entire series without a Pandemic P performance, which we'll definitely get to the Pandemic P name in this video, just not for Paul George. You might already know where I'm going with that. But let's talk about what the Mavericks did great. The Mavs played a great chess match with Tyronn Lue with their size that they were playing on the court. Because after the first 2 games, the Clippers tried going with smaller lineups, because a big factor in the Mavericks going up 2-0 on the Clippers' home floor was Luka's ability to get the Clippers' bigs switched onto him, which he still made tough shots, but he would much rather have Nick Batum or Zubac on him rather than Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And so the Clippers started playing smaller lineups to counteract this, but it is worth noting that they didn't go completely small ball because Luka was completely playing Patrick Beverley out the series. Like, there were a few games where he didn't even play, simply because of his size advantage over Patrick Beverley. And so the Clippers played smaller and the Mavs played taller to force them to get their bigs back out there. But other than that, the Mavericks didn't really do anything out of the ordinary in the series. It was more just a case of the Clippers just having too much firepower. But with that being said, there were a lot of things that went wrong in the series for Dallas. Starting with Kristaps Porzingis, or as Twitter is now calling him, the new Pandemic P. Porzingis had a god-awful series. He averaged 13 points and 5 rebounds while playing 33 minutes a game. And he's 7'3". A lot of the problems with him were due to his shot selection, because this isn't just a problem from this series. There will be times when Kristaps legitimately looks like he thinks he's a shooting guard. He takes 30-footers. In Game 7, he took a pull-up 3 in transition on a 2-on-1 fast break, but then there's just the fact that he has a terrible post game. And so when he's taking shots like that, the Clippers are just like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. Because they can live with a Porzingis 30-footer or a turnaround fadeaway. And on top of all that, he's gonna be making $31 million next season. and I don't think that having him on the roster is going to be sustainable, not only because of his play, but also due to money. Because Luka Doncic is only going to be making $10 million next season because he's still on his rookie contract, which sounds wild to say, but here we are. But that won't be the case for long, because after this season, he'll be eligible for a 5-year, $195 million extension. And so with that, like, that would already be a lot of money along with Porzingis' contract. Now, his contract isn't just bad because of the cap, it's also just because of the value that you're getting out of him. And so when you bring that up, I'm not too sure if there would be that many offers for Porzingis if the Mavericks decided to trade him, because that contract is a lot. But you know what's also a lot? It's the responsibility that Luka Doncic has on this Mavericks team. Because as we saw throughout the series, there would be stretches of games where the Mavericks had no game plan other than getting Luka the ball and just seeing what happens. Luka had a 40% usage rate in the series, and in Game 6, he scored or assisted on 31 of the Mavericks' 37 shots. Which, when I first heard that, I was amazed, but then I started to realize that's not a reliable game plan, because that basically shows that your entire offense is Luka Doncic. And when you have an offense like that, it won't get you very far in the playoffs, because then all of a sudden that one player has a bad game and you're almost certainly losing the game. The only subpar game Luka had in the series, the Mavericks got blown out of the building before halftime. And that was also due to the fact that the Mavericks are a team that shoots a lot of threes. And so when all those threes that we saw in the first 2 games stopped falling, it was increasingly difficult for them to even get another win. And that's not ideal. I talked about this in a video I made about 3 months ago about the 3-point era. Because let's take a look back at the Charles Barkley clip that I showed towards the start of the video. But this time, let's also take a look at what he said before that.
A bad shooting, why you just keep shooting them all the time? Just because you hot tonight. But you just said it, they're the worst 3-point shooting team in the NBA. Like, that doesn't make zero sense, that stat. Zero.
We're the worst shooting in the NBA.
And we're gonna keep shooting.
No, and they don't have any bigs, so we're gonna actually shoot more tonight. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, listen, yeah, y'all play like I'm gonna be the old man, get off my lawn. Y'all sit there and watch this stupid ass basketball. Just jack up threes all night. If they go in, we win. We miss, they lose. Give me a break, you dumbass. Easy game.
And I mean, he's right. Why is a team that's 22nd in 3-point percentage, top 10 in 3-point attempts? Why is a career 32% 3-point shooter taking 30-foot step-back threes? Why do you have a 7'3" player taking logo shots? And I still feel that same way about this Mavericks team, because although Luka has become a better 3-point shooter this season, he still takes extremely difficult threes. I still hate Porzingis' shot selection, and the Mavericks don't have the 3-point shooting that they had last season. One of the reasons for that was them trading away Seth Curry, which I can't remember if I ever voiced my opinion on that, but I think that was a mistake. They also got rid of Delon Wright, who was a great 3-point shooter for them at times. They were able to get JJ Redick during the season in a trade with New Orleans, but he ended up suffering a heel injury that kept him out for most of the season. And so the Mavericks do have some shooting, but not at the level that you would probably want in an offense that revolves around one player this much. So something needs to change, and it needs to be a roster change. There's no way around it, because as of right now, Luka is sharing ball handling responsibility with Tim Hardaway Jr., but Luka is still obviously extremely ball dominant, which he needs to be because that's the only way this offense has worked this season. And so, like what I said last year, they need another ball handler and a playmaker to take attention away from Luka. It is also worth noting that the Mavs were not ideal on defense this season, so I see them possibly going after some defensive pieces in the offseason. I will say this, Dallas, if you're watching this video, which you're not, but if you are, Kent Bazemore is going to be available this offseason. He's a great 3-and-D wing that I feel can have an impact on your team. Oh my gosh, just please take him away from us. Oh my god. But that's about it for me. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think Porzingis could be on the move? And if so, where to? Also, who should the Dallas Mavericks try to go after this offseason? Let me know what you think. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to be notified when I upload. Comment down below what you want to see next. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.